focus. Ideate, innovate, enable.
हमारी सरकार का सपना है आने वाले कुछ वर्षों में हिंदुस्तान के हर गांव में हर गरीब से गरीब परिवार को भी 24 घंटे बिजली पहुंचाना है।
It was a clarion call from Prime Minister Narendra Modi for a country that even almost after 7 decades of independence could not liberate itself from the shortage of electricity. India's power woes is seemingly unending, with erratic supply in cities and gloomy scenario in rural areas. But things are gradually improving now. The Ministry of Power is fighting this darkness with a renewed vigor and has implemented strategies to provide electricity to remotest parts of India by 2022.
In the last 2 years, nearly 50,000 circuit kilometers of transmission capacity, which is an addition of 69 circuit kilometers per day, as against 46 circuit kilometers per day added in the period 2012 to 14, which would be, I think, a growth of more than 50% over what was being done 2 years before Prime Minister Modi took charge.
To ensure that this ambitious vision becomes a reality, power companies in generation, transmission and distribution are at their all-time operational high. And Powergrid, one of the world's largest transmission utilities, is at the heart of India's gigantic electricity transmission network, backed by cutting-edge technology and world-class innovation.
Today we have the one nation, one grid, one frequency. This is possible basically because when all the regional grids, all the state grids, all the distribution grids are integrated, and we have achieved that. This is one of the largest grid of the world. That's why it is going to play a very big role in the Government of India objective of 24/7 affordable power to all.
As a central transmission utility of India, Powergrid carries over 50% of total power generated in the country, equaling the combined capacity of more than 50 other private and state transmission and distribution companies. Powergrid is at the helm of power management, telecom and international consultancy for more than 2 decades, and at all its functions across the world, it is the technology that is driving this Navratna company far ahead of the rest.
Our grid, technology-wise, is none less than anybody, whether you compare with America, Russia, Europe. It is certainly far better than them.
As an entity that always thrived on innovation, this enterprise is powering an unprecedented growth story in transmission and distribution by exploiting technology to the hilt. A towering example of its technological supremacy is the indigenous development of 1200 kilovolt national station at Bina in Madhya Pradesh. With this mega facility becoming operational, India has become the first country to have successfully installed 1200 kilovolt AC transmission line, beating countries like Russia, Italy, Japan and China in ultra-high voltage alternate current transmission space.
And this was the new technology. All over the world, the highest voltage is 1100 kV. We have gone for Bina 1200 kV station, which is the highest voltage in the world. Why we upgrade the voltage level? Because it should take less line and carry more power at the less cost.
But what does setting up of a mammoth project of this size mean for a power deficient country like India?
Where in one pole you can draw about 5,500 megawatt to 6,000 megawatt, which is almost, I can say, the total load of Delhi. So this is a major change in our power system.
The Bina project of Powergrid also truly exemplifies the Make in India initiative of the Government of India. It is a perfect example of public-private partnership where 35 manufacturers came together to create the highest power system voltage operational anywhere in the world.
The beauty part is, this is the first time in India happened. We have made a consortium of 35 companies, all Indians. This will be the first time. If other country goes to 1200 kV, India will supply the technology. And that's why I can say this is actual Make in India concept, real model of the private-public partnership. And that's why it is a winning project.
We are also constructing one 1200 kV transmission line from Wardha to Aurangabad. It will be initially charged at 400 kV and later on will be upgraded to 1200 kV. This will facilitate larger length transmission and with lower losses.
We need in the present market scenario that what equipment we put must be military grade. Now on experimental basis, our own engineers are now operating drones with a high resolution cameras.
This is basically towards the achieving the 24/7 affordable power.
From Madhya Pradesh to Uttar Pradesh, in yet another first, Powergrid has installed the world's first electric power supply highway multi-terminal transmission system in Agra for bulk high-voltage direct current power transmission. This 1800-kilometer long transmission line carries 800 kilovolt from Biswanath Chariali in northeast to Agra in the northern region.
If you see the Indian energy, that it is concentrated in the few pockets, like hydro is concentrated in Himalaya region, northern and northeast region. Coal is concentrated in central India. What we have done, we have created the highway. One highway can carry 4,000 to 5,000 megawatt. It will start from the generation to the major load centers. This is basically towards the achieving the 24/7 affordable power.
This massive arena of electricity conversion operation is as big as a football ground. With sophisticated multi-technological devices immaculately positioned, the system transmits 6,000 to 8,000 megawatts of high voltage direct current to illuminate the lives of millions living in the far-flung areas of India.
Chapakur Kshetra is mainly built up for evacuation of power from Chhattisgarh to Kurukshetra, this northern belt. This is 1300 kilometer link. It has capacity of 6,000 megawatt. Voltage rating is 800 kV plus minus. As on date, we have 12 HVDC system in the country, out of which 10 belong to us. This is biggest HVDC system in the world, owned by one utility.
With transmission lines traversing the length and breadth of the nation, and over 200 substations continuously transmitting high voltage electricity through more than 1,31,000 circuit kilometers, it is seemingly practically impossible to monitor and manage a massive network like this. But it is the technological prowess of Powergrid that has proved it wrong with the setting up of the National Transmission Asset Management Center. It is the nerve center of all its operations.
This is a world-class control center which displays real-time data, and after capturing this real-time data, these substations and total system can be operated from there. As on date, our 100 number of substations are remote controlled.
The highly sophisticated center at Manesar monitors, controls and manages all the substations across India at a click of a few buttons.
And this is the latest technology that is available, because there are about 12 to 13 cameras and high resolution cameras are available in each substation, which has been captured, and it is being telemetered through our own fiber network. So that means we have a redundancy in the communication system also. So all the operation the substations is being carried out smoothly for last almost I can say almost a year now.
But technological interventions are not just confined to control rooms. With Powergrid's maze of transmission network spanning across miles and miles, patrolling of transmission towers is a routine exercise. The unmanned aerial vehicles or drones equipped with gimbal-mounted ultra-high-definition video cameras detect possible faults and defects. This completely eliminates the need for engineers to climb towers for inspection. Aligning with international practices, Powergrid has also deployed helicopters with light detection ranging sensors and high-end digital cameras for aerial surveillance of long-running lines.
Now on an experimental basis, our own engineers are now operating drones with a high-resolution cameras, and we come back to our office and go through the desktop and look into the cameras and find out the problems or certain rectification work to be done in the transmission lines. So this is how technology is being adopted by us for the future one-name purpose.
Powergrid's introduction of gas-insulated substations, which take lesser space compared to the conventional air-insulated switchgear substations, is a new order in the transmission business.
Now instead of going air-insulated substations, we now switches, slowly we have going over to the GIS systems, that is gas-insulated substations. Basically GIS are the other major advantage, less space, less maintenance. Practically these are all maintenance-free equipments. So what we need in the present market scenario, that what equipment we put must be military grade. Military grade in the sense that it should never fail in its lifetime.
The days of hugely occupying transmission towers are on wane. Powergrid's unique innovation of developing compact towers is transforming the transmission and distribution functions in India.
Kerala we have a serious right-of-way issue problems. So there we have decided to go with the pole type of structures, so that the land requirement is really 1.5 meter to 2 meters. We don't need that huge land. In the future we are going to adopt more and more poles for our operations.
Whenever there is some disaster, we were the first to reach there and restore the power.
We are now integrating information technology into the system.
And that's why we are really proud of this team.
Highly specialized and skilled engineers at Powergrid are its real heroes. Working under extreme conditions, these men of power are adept in hotline maintenance and emergency restoration services. These men have the credit of erecting transmission towers anywhere in less than 24 hours.
Whenever there is some disaster, whether we take flood in Chennai, there was earthquake in Manipur, Gujarat disaster. Before that, there was cyclone in Odisha. We were the first to reach there and restore the power. Even in Nepal, earthquake. Even today, our people are there in Leh, Kargil. And that's why we are really proud of this team.
They are the true champions working in perilous conditions and electrifying surroundings to ensure uninterrupted power supply to every nook and corner of the nation.
Adopting new technologies or upgrading the technologies is necessary for any organization that way. So training for new technologies is concerned, we send them to manufacturers' work. We design tailor-made programs to be conducted here, wherein our senior officers who are expert in the subject train them. Another program is Global Outreach Program, in which we take our people to foreign countries and let them see themselves how the new technology is working there.
But it is the technology that remains the bedrock of all its operations. With smart grid becoming the future of power ecosystem, Powergrid has indigenously developed smart grid in distribution at its pilot project at Puducherry through open collaboration of more than 60 organizations and academic institutions.
There is rapid growth of renewable energy in the country. To integrate this large upcoming renewable energy, Powergrid is developing green corridor. IT has a big role in smart grid and the renewable energy management system.
This project is a stepping stone for Powergrid to venture into manufacturing of smart products like smart meter, microgrid controller, cool roof and smart home energy management system.
Smart meters has also come, which has a two-way communication. That means you can switch on the system, switch off the system from the remote through a mobile applications, and you know your load, how much you are taking the load, how much you are consuming the load. It is not only the meters, now again the smart grid. That means you can integrate the renewable energy into the system, you can integrate your solar energy into the system, so that even if you are nobody in the house, that whatever solar energy is getting generated, it can feed to the grid and you can get some money out of it. We are now integrating information technology into the system.
A strong pillar in the growth story of India's power sector, Powergrid's journey thrives on innovation, a process that never ebbs, igniting young minds to think beyond the realm of existing technologies. The state-of-the-art R&D center of Powergrid is the incubation ground, giving opportunities to its workforce to experiment in the field of power system analysis, advanced equipment diagnostics, control and automation, and engineering design.
The new technologies enable Powergrid to go from being a mere builder of transmission systems to a market enabler. That is to achieve the object of one nation, one grid and one price. It helps shift or transmit large volumes of electricity from the load centers to the demand and brings economies to the end users in terms of lower price for the electricity.
India, the 7th largest country in the world, is still struggling for reliable power to its millions of people.
एक इलाके में बिजली रहती थी, कोई लेने वाला नहीं था, और दूसरा इलाका बिजली के लिए तड़पता था, अंधेरे में जीता था, कारखाने बंद हो जाते थे, और उसको बदलाव लाने के लिए वन नेशन, वन ग्रिड, वन प्राइस, उसमें हमने सफलता पाई है। और बहुत तेजी से, जो कभी गर्मी में 10 रुपया यूनिट का दाम देना पड़ता था, मैं पिछले दिनों तेलंगाना गया था, उस दिन 1 रुपया 10 पैसा दाम था, जो कभी 10 रुपया हुआ करता था। ये वन प्राइस का परिणाम देश को जोड़ने के लिए काम होता है।
Powergrid, as a dominant force in India's power sector, promises to be the flag bearer in its Power to All by 2022 agenda on the long stretches of its land, river, desert and absolute wilderness. These are the electrical marvels of Powergrid, standing tall, weathering inclement conditions, all for just one goal: to create a robust power infrastructure by connecting all the regional grids, making one nation, one grid and one frequency a powerful reality.